Hi guys, so the lesson I did was on factors and multiples for 4th grade. So we're going to assume that we already went over a little bit of factors and multiples the day before, and we looked at our anchor charts, and we're just going to re-go over all that, play a new review game, and be able to understand a different way to do factors and multiples. Hi guys, so today we're going to learn more about factors and multiples. We're going to play a little review game. We're going to look at our anchor or poster charts again about what they are, and we're going to do a worksheet, and then we're also going to be able to do an exit ticket by the end of the lesson today. So for our champs, we're going to be at a level 1 unless I otherwise direct you that we're going to be at a level 0. If we need help, we're going to raise our hand. For the activity, we're going to play a review game. We're going to do our worksheet, and then at the end, we're going to do our exit ticket. For our movement, we're going to stay in our seats unless we're playing our review game with our partner when I say that. And when I see you participating, I want to see that you are playing the game, you're filling out your worksheet, and that we finish with our exit ticket. Okay, so let's go over our anchor charts of what we learned yesterday about factors and multiples. So on our factors, you remember our factor ninja chart, chopping up products. So what a factor is any whole number that is multiplied together to get a product. So see, we have 24 here. When we did it, we said 1 times 24 is 24. 2 times 12 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. And 4 times 6 is also 24, okay? So make sure when we need help that we look at this chart as well. So our other chart is going to be our multiple monster. Remember this from yesterday? We make numbers bigger is what multiples are. So we see 2. So we see our multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Do we remember what a multiple is? It is when a product is multiplied by any whole number. Multiples can be listed as a series. Do we remember this? Look at this right here. It's our series of numbers that can be multiplied by 2. Okay? So for our review game, remember, we're going to play a new game with our review. We're going to have each group, I have you in partners. We're going to have a deck of cards. And when we do it, you're going to have your cards sitting here with your partner across from you. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw a card. So I drew a king. So a king is a 10, remember? So when we do this, I'm going to give all the factors and multiples of 10 to 100. Okay? So my factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. And my multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So then I would get to keep this card. Okay, get it? And then we'll go to our next partner. I will demonstrate with my partner. Give me 1 second. When the numbers are really high, like a king has 10, the students will have to say all the factors of that number, but then with their multiples, they only have to say 5 to get the card because some numbers can go really high. Okay, so my partner is going to draw a card. And he drew a jack, so he's going to give the factors.
Factors are 1, 2, 5, and 10.
And then he's going to give 5 multiples.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Okay, so he gets to keep that card. So then I'm going to go, and I have 6. So my factors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. And my multiples are 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So I get to keep this card. So he's going to draw one more that we're going to show. And he drew a 5, so he's going to give the factors of 5.
1 and 5.
Because it is a prime number. And then he's going to give them 5 multiples of 5.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay, so he gets to keep his card. So, okay, so I drew a 4. So my factors are 1, 2, and 4. And my 5 multiples are 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. So I get to keep my card. So that's how we're going to play the review game. I would have the students go through the whole deck to be able to review depending on how much time we have. Okay, so now we're gonna learn our new way on how to do our factors and multiples. So in front of all of you guys, I have 20 of these little tiles. Some of them are different colors. It doesn't really matter. I just made them. So what we're gonna do first is how to do this. We know how to kind of do factors and multiples, but this is a kind of a little bit easier way to do this. So we do have our worksheet here that we're gonna be working on. We have our few numbers that we're gonna do our factors and multiples of. So our first number we have is 6. So what we're gonna do is we're only gonna take 6 tiles. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna try to find our factors. So what we're gonna do with our 6 tiles that I have here is we're gonna make them so that they're always even. That's how we know what the factors are. So I'm gonna start with 1 times how we're gonna do this. So look how we don't have any odd even spots. So we do 1 times 6 is 6. So there's one of our factors. So we're gonna write that on our paper. Right, 1 times 6 is one of our factors. So we can try 2 now. So then we have 2 on this side. We're gonna make them even. See, we have 2 times 3 and it's even because we don't have any extras hanging off that are not in a square. So 2, we're gonna write that on our thing. 2 times 3 is another one of our factors. We can try a few more to see if there are factors. So we're gonna try 3. And look, 3 times 2 is also 6. So we can write that as well on our factors. So what we have for our factors is 1, 2, 3, and 6. Because we only write our factors with one number that we have. So now we're going to do our multiples. We don't need our tiles for that part, right? So we're thinking our first 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 20, right? 24. And 6 times 5 is 30. So that's what we write on our multiples. Remember, we only need 5 of them to get it complete. So now we're going to do it as a group. And we're going to go to our next one, which is 10. So our group, we're going to grab 10 tiles. Right here so you can see them. Okay, so he's got our 10 tiles here. So first thing we're going to do, we always start with 1, right? So we're going to start with 1 on this side, and then he's going to go all the way across with all his tiles. And look, we don't see any odd places. So honest thing, we're going to write 1 times 10 is 10, right? So now we're going to try 2. He's going to try 2 now. And see, they're all even. There's no one hanging off here. So we see that 2 times 5 is also 10. He's going to write that on his piece of paper. So then we could try 3 and see if it works. But we see that we have this extra one here and there's not enough to fill it so it's even. So we know that 3 doesn't work. So then we can try 4. And we see we have 2 extra hanging out over here, so the 4 doesn't work. But if we try 5, we know that 5 times 2 is another one that works. So he's going to write that on his paper too. So we know that we've done 2 times 5, so 5 times 2 is our last one. So at the bottom, he's going to write then 1 time at the bottom. So he's going to write 1, 2, 5, and 10 because we only do them 1 time. So then we're going to have them do them, the rest of them by themselves. So their next one they're going to do is 12. So they're going to get 12 tiles. So they're going to add 2 more to what they already had. And they're going to go to each of their factors and each of their multiples. Okay, now he's going to do his multiples part, remember? So we're only going to do 5, and we're just going to do counting by tens on this one. So he knows his first one is going to be 10, and then 20, 30, 40, 50. So after we've done two together, so now they're going to do the rest by themselves. When they're finished, they're going to come up to me and see if they're all correct. If they're all correct, then I will give them their exit ticket to finish up. If students do get done early, I would let them play their review game a little bit longer till we got closer to the end of class so that they have something to do and they're not disrupted to the students that are finishing up. Their factors and multiples exit ticket looks just like this. It's just like the worksheet they just did. They can use their tiles if they need to. They can use whatever they think they need to finish this. They just have to hand this to me by the end of the lesson.